Hi everybody, it's Ms. Brody coming to you with another writing workshop lesson. And as you can see from on this slide, the title of this lesson is Spice It Up, Making Your Writing Come Alive. On the next slide, I just want you to watch the image for a little bit. It should kind of bring a little bit of a smile to your face. Pay attention to the guy on the right. I could watch this forever. I love how he just starts out kind of normal, just walking along, and then he kind of just adds this little extra spin move to his dancing. So that video, just aside from making me smile, I think really pertains to this lesson about spicing up your writing, right? That how can we take something that's sort of basic and with just one little extra flair, can we make it something more interesting? Just a little quick touching base. Hopefully you have written most of your sections by now. And if you're wondering why, that's because we're really trying to finish this unit by Friday of this week. So you don't have a lot of time left. So hopefully you're feeling like you have a lot of it done. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, I'm already done. And if that's the case, as a writer, we always want to be asking ourselves, can I do more? Is my writing as good as it can be? And what can I do to make my writing better? Can I spice it up? And the answer to all of those questions is almost always yes. And today, that's what we're going to be working on, spicing up our writing and making it just a little bit better. So let's take a look at a sample and see how we can do that. How can we go from ho-hum to wow? Here's a sample paragraph on the Oregon Trail that I wrote. The Oregon Trail was one of the many routes pioneers used to migrate to the western part of the United States in the mid to late 1800s. They traveled west for many reasons, mostly to find a better life. It usually took about 5 months to cover the 2,000-mile trail that crossed through 6 different states. The pioneers traveled in long wagon trains. The wagons were pulled mostly by oxen. The trip wasn't easy. The pioneers faced many hardships and struggles, especially disease. Well, one thing I want to say is that this paragraph is pretty good. I worked hard on it, and I wanted to make sure that I included most of the who, what, when, where, why, and how. So I'm feeling pretty positive about this piece of writing. And if your writing has all of the who, what, when, where, whys, and hows, you should feel pretty positive about it too. But that doesn't mean that we can't transform it and make it a little bit better. And how do we do that? Well, we have one tool that we can use, and that's the writing checklist. And how do we use the writing checklist? Well, we're focusing mostly in terms of making our writing better on craft techniques. And we're not going to talk about all of these things because that's a lot to cover in one video lesson, but we're going to focus on just a few of them. And the few that we're going to focus on, because I already worked on some of this. I worked on using specific vocabulary. That was from another lesson that had already been taught before. Today we're going to work on including the exact phrase, a comparison, or an image to explain information and concepts. So let's see what that really looks like, a comparison or an image. Well, when you hear that word image, the word imagine comes from that word image. And maybe you've used that word imagine before in a hook when you've written nonfiction, maybe an opinion piece or other types of nonfiction writing, when you're asking your reader to imagine something. Well, that's a nice little writer's trick that we can use to help our reader sort of see more and to jazz up our writing. And I just pulled up the paragraph that I already wrote, and I want you to just notice that I put 2 asterisks in here. And those asterisks were places that I felt as I reread my writing, something that you're going to be doing as you revise, where can I try to spice it up? Are there places where maybe I can create a little visual image for my reader to make the writing come alive? And I decided that right here, the pioneers traveled in long wagon trains. I was thinking that I might be able to help them imagine what that might look like. So I added this in. Imagine trying to put everything you owned into a wagon to take with you to your new home. Now imagine having to throw out almost all of it. That's what the pioneers were forced to do. The wagons weren't very big, and they needed to bring over 1,000 pounds of food just to feed a family of 4 on the trip. That didn't leave a lot of room for extras, just the basics. Life on the trail was no easy road trip. So again, I went from a paragraph that was definitely pretty solid to one that now had a little bit more oomph to it just by adding this word imagine and trying to help the reader make a picture of an image in their mind of trying to put everything you own into a wagon with you. So that's one tool or one trick that we can use as writers to spice up our writing, is to look and see, are there places where we can sort of get the reader to imagine something? Another one based on the checklist was to use a comparison, also known as a simile. So similes are when we compare one thing to another to help the reader sort of understand it more. Some common similes that we're hopeful that you're growing out of are the whole fast as a cheetah or wise as an owl. Well, can we come up with some similes that might compare traveling out west to something else? Traveling out west in a wagon was like, what can you think of that might finish that sentence? Or the struggles the pioneers faced on the trail were as hard as what? What's something that people struggle with? Is it a really hard math test? Is it something else that might make sense or resonate with the reader and help bring that sentence to life? Can you compare the difficulty of traveling on the Oregon Trail to something else using a sentence like the difficulty of traveling on the Oregon Trail was like? And again, and think about a comparison to something else that's very difficult. So again, using a comparison is a craft technique that can help turn your writing from ho-hum to wow. And another craft technique, so we sort of talked a little bit about this box. And now I'm going to move down to the bottom about using a consistent, inviting, and a teaching tone. And here is where I'm really focusing. I want to vary my sentences to help readers take in and understand the information. And really, what more is history writing and all information writing than we want our readers to understand the information? And again, here's a few quick tips on how to do that. How can we help our reader understand? Well, one thing we can do is we can use a question and answer technique. We know about using text structure, cause and effect, problem and solution, chronological order, and another sort of structure is just simply posing a question and providing the answer to our reader. And the way we do that is we think, what are the most important questions, or what are some questions readers might have? So in my Oregon Trail section, I might just literally write down, how long was the Oregon Trail? And then answer it. I might put down the question, what were the dangers the pioneers faced? And then answer that question. And finally, I might ask, what made the Oregon Trail such an important part of westward expansion? And then I would answer that. And again, this sentence I could use in almost any of my sections. What made the Lewis and Clark expedition such an important part of westward expansion? Or what made the gold rush such an important part of westward expansion? And I would use these questions to vary my sentences, that I don't just have every sentence doesn't end in a period, but that I can put questions in my writing to sort of vary my sentences and make it a little more snappy for the reader. Another strategy is basically using a little bit of like a counter argument. You might think, but actually, right? Think about things that your reader might have the wrong idea about and you want to set them straight. So one thing that jumps to mind, especially in terms of the Oregon Trail, is you might think that Native Americans were the biggest danger to the pioneers, but actually, right? I know that I read that. It wasn't actually Native Americans that were the biggest problem on the Oregon Trail. It was diseases such as cholera. Is there another you might think, or many people think? Let's see. You might think traveling out west sounds exciting, but actually, right? So think about some misconceptions, some things that your reader might have the wrong idea about, and then you can use this little sentence stem, you might think, but actually, to help your writing and jazz it up a little bit. The other way we can help ourselves is to really think about other texts that we've read. What do you like about some of the nonfiction texts you've read? Which parts, when you read an article or a text, help you learn the most? Maybe you like fun facts or word boxes. And if so, then I say to you, great, add them in. Make a word box, make a fun fact list. Maybe you like the pictures and captions and the maps and the diagrams. Well, great. You should definitely add those in. Those are very helpful. Maybe you like nonfiction that includes real life stories when they have like a little sidebar, maybe a real life journal of someone. Well, find one. There's plenty to be found out there on the internet. Google it and add something like that in. Maybe again, just like I've already taught, you like questions with answers. Great, figure out some questions the reader might have and get going and answer them. Maybe you like that idea of you might think, but the truth is, super, add it in. And finally, maybe you like having your sections divided into smaller sections. If that's the case, then go for it. Use some catchy headings and make your writing come alive. So I'm just going to leave you with this fun little video clip again as a little reminder of how it doesn't take a lot. It just takes one little smooth move or one little extra writing flair to make your writing go from ho-hum to wow. So today, if you're still drafting, keep going and try to think of ways to spice it up. If you think you're done, go back and find those places where you can maybe put an asterisk and say, I'm going to add something in. I'm going to try something new just to spice up my writing a little bit. So go for it. Have a great day and get to work.